Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where Slovakia forms an empire. The Wheel of Names picked it, our dear wheel, where we have the name of every country in the world. And today it's Slovakia. It landed on Slovakia. So Slovakia is going to attempt to get stronger and invade neighbors to become an empire. So something I could do is the same thing that I did for the Moldovan Empire thing. I united it with Romania and I made a Romanian empire. It literally was called Romania by the end of the video. So this is useless. I'm not gonna unite Slovakia with Czechia. I'm gonna have to do something else because I want to be original, don't I? So the first thing that Slovakia does is they go to their very close ally of Czechia, the Czech Republic, and they ask for money and support because they're gonna invade Austria together. And so obviously Czechia accepts, something they do. So then they recruit all of the neighbors of Austria, obviously except for Switzerland because they wouldn't do this, or poor old Liechtenstein. Anyway, they recruit all of them and they say that Austria has been doing some horrible stuff. Let's say NATO is disbanded for this scenario because it wouldn't be possible. They're literally surrounded by NATO except for Austria and Ukraine. So, you know, we could try and do a possible empire, but Austria is probably going to join soon unless Russia stops them, because I think Russia is allowed to stop them because of that treaty after World War II, so we're not sure about that. Anyway, in this hypothetical scenario, they get all these countries, Slovakia and consequently Czechia, they get all these other countries to declare war on Austria for the horrible thing they did. What's the horrible thing? I cannot tell you. Ask them. Them and them and them and them and them and them and like everyone in this little world, because I have no idea why. Anyway, let's just say it happened. Germany and Italy invading a country together. It's bringing out memories. Not good ones. You're gonna have to cross the Alps for like this area here, but like it's okay. I think they're gonna do it. Let's not ignore geography here. So the first country to do this is obviously Slovakia. I mean, they got ready first for this and they start invading directly. They immediately capture the capital of Austria, Vienna, right here in the northern border, and they start empowering their claims. Anyway, they can't do much because it took a while to capture the capital of Austria, so they can't push anymore. The next country to do something is obviously Czechia. Does this look okay? Yes, it does. And they start invading the north of Austria, equating to about this. So this is what the Czech push is looking like at the end. But Austria does manage to push them back next to the border with Germany before Germany actually formally declares war on them. And then the next country to declare war is gonna be Hungary, and they're gonna start pushing in to Austrian territory, and they can do a pretty large push. Austria does push them back, but they don't try to interfere with the Slovakian one yet because they want to like solve everything and do peace and go back to square one. They don't touch the Slovakian front, and this is what it looks like after the first push by Hungary. And then this is the Slovenian push. They do a little bit, but they can't do too much because of the size of their army. Today they're protected by NATO, but we disbanded NATO in this scenario. Anyways, Italy was about to strike, but they were like, you know what, let's not start a war, a major war. This is just regional and we can do stuff at the peace treaty. But when they see that Germany start making a super large push with their tiny military, even touching Liechtenstein, Italy are like, okay, I can do this. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Austria do make some progress back in the Alps, but nothing much afterwards. A little bit in the south, but they can't do anything more about it. Italy are like, okay, now it's our turn to strike next. And they grab everything that Germany couldn't, and they just expand their border a little bit more. Claimable territory starts getting smaller, but Slovenia start grabbing more and more territory because of their fortifications in their military, and this is what they can grab. Next, Slovakia. They grab everything that Hungary left for them. I mean, that Austria grabbed back. Anyways, Czechia strikes next, and this is what they can capture. Next, Italy. This is what they grab after a while of fighting. Hungary go next, and they capture all of this, shutting off Slovenia from the possibility of capturing any land. Poor Austria being sandwiched right now. Germany makes a super large push here. here, grabbing more and more territory, and the rest just surrenders to Slovakia. And in the peace treaty, the winning allies decide that it's gonna be whatever you manage to invade, you can keep. So this peace treaty, divided among the winning powers, is drawn based on the front lines of the war, and this is what it looks like at the end. Not too pretty. I know this is a bit pixelated, but I'm just removing the dark red for a second. This is what Slovakia looks like. Pretty weird. We can do this instead. It's a bit better. Germany looks like it's farting. Like, I don't know, like it's drinking. It's spitting out water. Can I say that? I guess. Czechia looks like it just has a wart on it. Slovakia looks like it's grown out its hair for too long, and this is the effect. Hungary looks like it just grew an arm. Slovakia looked like it got a good new haircut, better hair. And Italy just looks like over here in the Western Alps, in like the northern area of Western Austria, it looks like they just like have like a weird panhandle, like they're surrounding Switzerland in the canton of Grison. And here in the east, it looks like they have this peninsula back from Croatia here, but more to the north. Like, it's weird, but okay. Anyways, the next thing that Slovenia do is get a way of encouraging their good buddy Hungary to declare war on Romania. They're like, we'll help you, don't worry, and stuff. And then they tell Romania that they'll get them more help. And they tell Croatia, which is not a really good ally of Hungary, once they declare war on Hungary, Croatia are gonna have the option to declare war on Hungary too, and they're gonna win the war altogether. So they get Hungary to declare war on Romania because they're not really good friends, and Hungary wants all of Transylvania back, don't they? So after a couple months, Hungary is ready to declare war on Romania. Their army is ready, and they start lining up their military in the border to eventually start invading. So Hungary are doing well at first, and more troops start getting deployed to the border with Romania because Europe is no longer a stable and peaceful continent. Let's forget the EU and NATO. So this is what the war looks like when suddenly the pact with Croatia and Slovakia goes into action. They both declare war on Hungary. Eventually, Romania managed to push them out, make it look like this. And they try their best to push out the most, because oops, I forgot to show that Slovakia made a pretty solid advance push in the north, and Croatia did one too in the south, eventually drafting in Slovenia, who's interested for land, but Serbia wants to protect their Hungarian ally, so they start their own war with Croatia. And Slovakia, Croatia, and Romania are not all in a pact together, so Serbia is allowed to start invading Croatia, as well as heavily sanctioning Romania. And Croatia are like, what the hell, dude? So they pull out some troops in southern Hungary to get to push them back, opening the front here in the west to be able to bring more and more people over here in own country to push and save against Serbia's own little thing in Croatia. Anyway, Romania and Slovakia end up declaring war on Serbia to help fix the issue. With that, Serbia have to pull out some troops from the Croatian border to keep themselves afloat. Croatia want to get deep with this, so they get Kosovo to start creating problems in Serbia. But Serbia decide to start creating problems for Croatia in Bosnia and Herzegovina. They get a huge part of Republika Srpska plus their surroundings to revolt against Bosnia and Herzegovina, which triggered some unrest, making other countries like Albania, North Macedonia, and Moldova joining in against Serbia and Hungary's aggression. Hungary are like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you getting so many people against us? Formally ending the alliance and throwing Serbia out to a separate team. Now Serbia is literally dead. Hungary is so mad that they even started a really deep push and start harshly relocating their people into Serbian territory. They're really humiliated that everybody just declared war on them, and they have a pretty weird president in charge. So they just start invading everything that belongs to Serbia, and the army can't do anything about it. So it's literally like this, and they finish, like, they literally end Serbia after capturing Belgrade and stabilizing everything. The blue team can capture Republika Srpska back, force there's unrest, so this takes a very long time. But since Hungary unfortified their other fronts, countries like Slovenia can start an impressive front over here. The others don't want to fight with Slovenia, so they don't do anything. But Romania starts fending off the Hungarian push into Transylvania, which was literally the point of the war. Now Hungary just claims all of Serbia. They end up finishing all of Romania proper, and they don't want to cross into Serbia just yet. Anyway, Hungary and Serbia sign a peace treaty addressing the claims and the fact that Serbia now belongs to this Hungarian empire, which is weird. But these countries just say they're officially at war with this Hungary, not this. This is Serbia, which they were at war with, but it just disappeared out of thin air. Anyways, the push gets really easy. Budapest ends up getting captured by Slovakian forces, and Romania starts pulling the Uno reverse card into Hungary. And it's really easy as they connect and surround this northern area, and they just destroy all of Hungary, and at the end, Northern Hungary surrenders to the winning powers. This Hungary here, and what do? They get invaded by Kosovo, North Macedonia, and Albania, as well as Croatia. Let's change the colors here, because they're not doing much anymore. Let's make them orange, and we'll split Croatia into an orange Croatia and a blue Croatia. One of them is working on Serbia, the other one on Hungary. This Serbia is literally destroyed. It's ran over. These countries are holding a grudge. Montenegro say, we need to save Serbia from death, so they declare war on this Hungarian Serbia, as well as Romania. So like all of this part of Romania is gonna be part of the yellow team officially. Greece starts shipping mass amounts of goods to save Serbia too, because they like Serbia. Anyways, Hungarian Serbia here is gonna start getting ran over by Montenegro and by consequence Greece. So this is all that happens, and they start wrapping across the border because they want to save Serbia, and Greece actually flood everything into that. This Bosnia and Herzegovina that's trying their best to get rid of Republika Srpska, they're able to do this, and this Croatia is able to do this because they want to destroy Serbia from existence. Actually, Romania should fully be in the blue team. They're not trying to destroy Serbia or anything. They're not trying to do anything like that. North Macedonia finished their push. They ended up there and line up all their soldiers in this border here. And so Romania is just here for personal gains. So this is what they're going to be doing. They just want to expand to relocate some people over into here. So that's what they just claim on doing. And the rest of this just surrenders to Montenegro and Greece because they actually want to save Serbia. Anyway, let's take a look at this weird peace treaty. For Slovenia, let me do it for you guys. The meeting table, Slovenia asks for all of this, and everybody approves, even Greece. I don't know why Greece would want to say no to that, but they can't because they weren't even participating in that. So this is the first half of the meeting where nobody, Greece and like them, you're just here to watch. Next is blue Croatia. Here's our blue Croatia, and this is all that they managed to claim from Hungary. Next is Romania. Romania managed to claim all of this, actually this, from Hungary, which is good. And the rest, 100% goes to Slovakia, who's forming the empire. So by forming their empire, they're giving a lot of land to other people, but they can't do anything about it because they didn't do much in the war, you know. And next is Romania, who managed to grab all of this off of Serbia. Let's eliminate the ones that aren't touching. Moldova get a really large sum of money in compensation, and Albania too, the winners, instead of land from Serbia or Hungary, because they don't want to get any land from them. Like, it wouldn't make sense. Croatia annexed all of this territory, and they make this little strip of land into their puppet state. Bosnia and Herzegovina do the same, except they are very selective. This plot, and this plot are directly annexed into Bosnia and Herzegovina, and these two plots become puppet states. Kosovo pulled the Uno reverse card, but they can't annex anything, so they just make all this territory into their puppet state. They can't annex stuff because their government isn't able to do that yet, but maybe later, maybe soon. North Macedonia, a bit broke, but they can still annex a large chunk of land. Now they don't look like a bowl anymore, and they make this into their puppet state. And this puppet state here is jointly owned and administered North Macedonia and Kosovo as a condominium. Here it is. So this is the map of what's going on. It begins with a huge war, obviously. Montenegro also requests for a buffer state because, yes, they do want to save Serbia, but they also don't want them too close, so they don't want to border them. So they start a puppet buffer state in the east, and this is what the area looks like. Okay, anyway, this Serbia here gets independence, although it is strongly administered by Greece, very strongly administered by Greece, and a bit also by Montenegro, as it's literally on their doorstep, and they helped a lot too. So this is what Serbia's looking like. Anyway, let's make this all white. Ooh, let's just leave the brown. No, actually, I'll fix it. And the next thing that you guys probably called is the declaration of war from our empire former Slovakia to Slovenia. Ooh, they border each other. Slovakia, Slovenia. Ooh, that's sweet, because they've got like almost the same name that come from the same roots, except for Akia and Enya. The first thing they do is they send them an ultimatum and ask them for all of the land they're conquered plus a bit more. And Slovenia are like, no, we're so strong, we can never, no, thank you. And so they're like, okay, well, we declare war. And they pull out a huge amount of troops, like huge amounts of troops into the border, and they just invade. They don't have any plans, they just invade, and Slovenia is completely crushed. Nobody else joins the war, so they get the coastline for themselves too. This is what it looks like. Then both countries meet for peace, and Slovakia completely annexes all of Slovenia. They do the same with Croatia. They're like, I know we used to be allies, but these times are over, and now I want you to give me a bit of your territory. They're like, give me all this. And Croatia are like, you know what, fine. We'll just give up everything that we captured, but we're not as good as friends anymore. I mean, we're not friends anymore now because of this. And they're left crippled. Although they do have a lot of land from Serbia, because they captured a lot of it. They end up annexing and uniting with their own puppet state in Serbia instead of giving them independence. That's what the plan was. Anyways, in order to counter all this Slovakian expansion, crippled, sad Croatia that just lost most of what they got start an alliance against Slovakia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina are like, if Slovakia do what Germany did in World War II. They start with the ultimatums and they end by declaring war. We're gonna be right on the front lines, and we can't do that. If they invade them, maybe we can even grab like all of this and become an ally of them. But for now, if other people also decide to join this pact, we'll join. Croatia tells Serbia, we're right on the border, to be careful and to join their alliance because Slovakia are backstabbers, and they just did that. So yeah, the Serbia thing is like, oh shoot, we need to do that. So they immediately join. They even have Belgrade that's like a bit more west, like right on the border with Croatia. And they also tell the country with the longest border with Slovakia here, Romania, they tell them, be careful, these are backstabbers, they just backstabbed me and Slovenia, so you're gonna be lit next. So how about you and maybe even Moldova join us for protection? Romania are like, okay, just for protection and free trade between us and stuff, and they bring in Moldova. They end up uniting them because Russia isn't here to ruin things. So this is a very flat looking Moldova, but no other countries decide to join until Slovakia declares war on Czechia, and they get Germany to join in, and they promise them the Sudetenland. They're in Germany are like, sweet, let's do this. So Slovakia are just able to run across Czechia. They're so much stronger now, and this is what they look like after the first push. This is like after 2 months, after one trimester of war, so 3 months. Yeah, so they just backstab an ally. Germany grabs the Sudetenland and more, and even Prague, and the rest of the country just surrenders to Slovakia because they think it's better for the people if they surrender to Slovakia than to Germany. Germany, bro, what the heck? So Slovakia. So these three countries meet for peace. Germany annexes all of the Sudetenland and more. Slovakia annexes most of Czechia, everything that they could capture and that surrendered to them. And this little strip of land called Czechoslovakia, it's a puppet state of Germany. Well, these countries saw that Slovakia could just backstab their beginning ally that literally made them be able to start all of this. The rest of the Balkans are like, okay, we need to do something about this. So Bosnia and Herzegovina and their puppet states obviously are forced to join by what they just seen. Montenegro just stands and looks, but Albania thinks it's a really good idea. By consequence, Kosovo also joins. They're like, you're gonna just be in an alliance with Serbia, but it's not the same Serbia. I don't think they hate you anymore. And like, it's been 30 years. I think that they can solve things peacefully now. So they just join. And North Macedonia are like, okay, let's join too, just in case they get close to our borders and our allies' borders. And Montenegro also joined, but this area has to stay neutral because they don't want free trade with this Serbia, because they've got to stay vigilant and they want it to survive. I know these borders look bad, but they're gonna exit soon, as Bosnia and Herzegovina just say, we decide to transfer our two puppet states to Serbia under good hands, but we have the right to claim them back in case anything undesirable happens. Serbia are like, thank you so much, that's really nice of you, it means a lot to us. And so they just annex these two countries into provinces. Kosovo does the same. They transfer their puppet state to Serbia, but they do annex Sig area, and they actually create a very, very small buffer zone with Serbia, so they're not like stuck to each other. So let's say like this is 100 kilometers, like this, with this, that's 100 kilometers. This thought would be 100 kilometers. I'm not sure how much it is in real life, just for the sake of this video, okay? Montenegro, like, you know what? We're gonna do a bit of the same. Serbia, take a bit of your land back, but we're still gonna have a small buffer state. It's what we have to have, because so nobody starts hating you again. We don't want you to border us for now. That's hard, isn't it? We don't want you to touch us or get close. This one though is a bit thicker, like a tiny little bit. Like instead of having these little pixels like this, it's got like this. Like the border is actually lined. I did it badly, but I hope you understand. And Bosnia and Herzegovina just tell Serbia to add a buffer zone too, because they forgot to do it and they like the idea, so they just tell Serbia to start building a buffer zone. And so eventually every other bordering country with Serbia start a buffer zone in their territory to prevent any future conflicts, because they also show that they don't want any. Romania usually get along with Serbia, so they don't need one. Montenegro's are actually very much thicker though, so how about we make it like this instead, like every pixel connects to each other, because they are like, we don't love this idea, we need it though. So, and Serbia buy a huge buffer zone, like they pay to build a huge buffer zone with Slovakia because they're afraid that they do anything fishy. Anyway, all these countries join the anti-Slovakia expansion league, this little puppet state that's conjointly owned by North Macedonia and Kosovo. They have a referendum either to join Kosovo or North Macedonia or this one here. They're not ready to pass it on to Serbia proper, so they vote to join and unite with this other puppet state. of North Macedonia. And North Macedonia gave it more autonomy. So it's, Kosovo lost access to it. At the end, this puppet state obviously ends up joining and uniting with Serbia. And this is what Serbia ends up looking like after all of this. And this is equal in power to all of this. They're all together in an alliance. They just have a buffer zone because they're afraid of any hate and anything, Anyways, let's put this flag on this empire. Okay, guys, here it is. I didn't have time today to compare it to other countries in the world, but you know how it is. This is the Slovakian Empire. Alright, you guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!